we started watching the 28 series, and then we realized, hey, why are we doing this?
God, 28. Oh, so bad.
It was so bad. Did we even talk about it?
No, we were supposed to talk about it in
we were
this
supposed to
episode,
talk
and we
about it,
changed
and,
our entire
like,
format.
The first one's good, and then 28 weeks later is an abomination. But then 28 years and 28 bones were just not. It was just like not fun to watch, not fun to talk about. There's just.
If there's one thing from the whole entire series to talk about, it's at the end of 28 years later, the Swedish Power Rangers just come out of nowhere, and they are like doing front flips and side hurdles off of like a bunch of rocks, wearing colorful garb in like in an otherwise very gritty and grounded movie, and they just come jumping out of nowhere. They're like, "Oh, you must be lost," and they start like just killing all these zombies. And the kid's like, "I guess I'll just hang out with you." And then the movie ends, and I'm like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah. And then 28 Bones, they're like, "Oh, Ralph Fiennes is Satan, so of course he's gonna play a song by Iron Maiden." Like, what?
The only thing I took out of it was the fact that there was like 17 penises.
Oh, so
well, there was one.
There
was one
very
particular
large
wiener
that thing had a mind of its own.
If you woke up today
Clearly
and you were
fake.
like, I'd like to see a huge dong.
Dude,
just
that thing
go
was
and
massive.
Well,
28
well,
years.
if we want to talk about what have we been watching,
I mean, there's been
so I watched Obliterated on Netflix. It's like one season. I don't know if they'll do more seasons because it did wrap up at the end of the season. But it's about this team, this like interagency team that stops this Russian guy in Vegas who has a nuke. And so they throw this massive rager party. Then they find out the next day that the nuke was fake and the real nuke is still out there. And so they're all like super hungover, super high, like trying to figure out what's going on. There are so many massive dongs in it. And it just and there's one where it just like it goes on forever. It's like
wait,
it's
the dong or the
dong? It's so clearly a rubber dong. It's like a foot long rubber dong, and they just keep it in shot, and they're like moving it around. Like there's this whole torture scene where the guy's like gonna put some. It's like he's like this little blender thing.
We don't want to go to the details.
And it's just like keep showing the dong over and over and over again. I'm like, guys, we get it.
He
has like a horse-sized dong, a physically impossibly large dong. We get it.
When we said we were changing up the theme of the show, it wasn't to talk more about dongs. So I'm going to get into the news. This will be a segment where we just kind of cover news in movie world, movie land, TV land over the last 2 weeks until our next episode. So we've obviously had a longer hiatus, being the start to our new season. So this is going to be a longer segment, but we're going to start off with some new trailers that have hit the stratosphere. So the first one is a dark Robin Hood adaptation called Death of Robin Hood, and this stars Hugh Jackman,
the biggest Jackman,
as Robin Hood. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer at all.
I watched it when it first came out. To be honest, full disclosure, kind of forgot what it was about.
It basically, he's just like, people remember Robin Hood like he's just this guy, but they don't know what it was really like. And it's just him like offing people, like smashing people's faces in, like a really graphic trailer. And I'm like, oh.
Wow! You know what? We've never seen a gritty take on a classic folk hero before. This will be new and inventive. And
I do not have high hopes for this movie. It just looks like Hugh Jackman playing Rambo. Like he's like, he basically has this one part in the trailer where he's like, I'm retired, I don't do that anymore. And they're like, but they took the girl. And he's like, all right,
so
I gotta
it's literally
go. And I'm like, is this Robin Hood? I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
So dumb.
So we have a new. This was aired during the Super Bowl. Scream 7 coming out. I never watched any of the first ones.
I watched like maybe 1 and 2,
the first
and then it just went downhill quickly.
Yeah, so the first one's supposed to be good because it's like a send-up intentional clowning of, not in like a scary movie way, but they're intentionally like messing with horror movie tropes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but it's like that's a very shallow well.
Yeah.
And that ran dry very fast. And they just keep making them because they keep making money. I'm like, is anyone legitimately interested for Scream 7?
Yeah,
I feel like it's one of those things
the
where
market is there.
You know,
it's probably
after a
just
certain
cheap
point,
to make. To be honest, it's probably going to be a cheap movie.
Well, horror movies have a lot of like really hardcore people who are like, yeah, I'll just go and watch a horror movie because
sure,
I'll go support that. But it's one of those things where it feels like ever since like the first two, I think the first one was pretty highly regarded, and the second one they were like, yeah, it's fine because they were making fun of like sequels and sequel tropes. But then they keep making them. And they're like, oh, surely the next one will bring us back to the original Scream. Surely the next one will bring us back to the original Scream.
Somebody's going to be watching this. And
guys, it's played out. And so I don't think it's going to be.
I've never seen any of them. I've only ever seen Scary Movie, which makes fun of it. And I thought that was kind of funny. A big one that came out Super Bowl Sunday, Disclosure Day. This is a new Steven Spielberg movie.
Terrible title.
It looked pretty interesting. There was some intrigue there. This is the one that it's essentially like they're going to expose things that the government's been covering up, but it's all left very mysterious. And you're kind of wondering what the heck is going on. And then I guess it kind of, judging by the trailer, it looks like these things are coming out. Like it looks like the government's losing control of these things. There's like an invisible car driving away, and then there's one part where he's like, so they're not people? And it's like, so I think it's the idea that like the government's been holding like aliens and all this cool stuff, and like these people are like releasing it to everybody. So
it's National Treasure with none of the charm.
So exactly what's been happening over the last 5 years?
President's Book of Secrets.
They've really timed it up well with all the Epstein files. There's a lot of intrigue, but it's also, I don't know much of anything about it.
And it's got a terrible name.
Disclosure Day is comical.
Bad name.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
We got the Mandalorian and Grogu. Did you guys see the trailer?
It wasn't even a
No.
real trailer. It was just like a
It
tease
looked like a
based
Coca-Cola
on
commercial.
Well, no, it was a play on the Budweiser Clydesdale commercials. Which, like, how many kids are going to get that?
Dude, it looked awful.
It looked bad.
If
there's nothing. Star Wars has no juice in the tank.
There's no soul left in that. Like, if you're gonna pull that, what just happened, which is, I don't know, it was just terrible. It's just him and Grogu riding the little Tauntaun sled, and really not excited about that one.
Nope.
I don't know about you guys.
I'm not going to go see it.
Project Hail Mary. This one's kind
Could
of
be
exciting.
good.
Ryan Gosling stars in it. It's based off of a book. Anybody know more about this movie other than the trailers?
So my wife, she read the book and said that the book is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Andy Weir's a good writer.
But she's not the only one that has said that.
Yeah.
My brother also has read the book and said that it was phenomenal. So I personally have really high hopes for it. It's done the same author that wrote Project Hail Mary also wrote The Martian.
Yeah, Andy Weir.
Okay.
So it's the same
same guy.
general idea. I am super excited for this movie. So this is like this could be like a top movie for me for the year.
So from my understanding, it's not just that, they have to figure out a way to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
But also because the trailer I think sets up the problem, and they're both going to the star to see if they can find a solution to the problem. And it's like they both of their civilizations have the same problem.
Okay.
And so apparently there's like an interesting, like one of the interesting parts of it is the perspectives that each civilization has, where, the human guy's taking some things for granted, and the alien guy's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what does that even mean?
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if Hollywood actually does that well.
There's an alien guy?
Yeah. That's the whole point.
So,
That's Rocky. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Did you not watch the trailer? This is in the trailer.
Okay, from what I understood from the trailer, Earth is dying, and they send us like a dude who's not an astronaut, but he effectively knows how to restart the sun.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we need to send you.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about aliens.
So no, it's in the trailer. So they send him, and he finds an alien ship that is also at the same planet. And so the whole movie is like he has to try to communicate with this alien because this alien was basically sent on the same mission for his civilization.
Yeah.
That's in the trailer.
And the alien is from a planet who is also having an issue with the same concept.
They're having the same
They're
problems.
having the same exact problem as us here on Earth. And so the idea is that they have to communicate in a way that they essentially work together for the common cause of fixing the problem, basically.
I'm far more interested now,
Dude,
honestly.
I'm really excited for it because the alien supposedly doesn't have a mouth, doesn't have ears and all the things or whatever those senses are, and they have to like figure out a way to communicate with this thing that doesn't communicate like we do
verbally,
and whatever. So it's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see. Plus, let's be honest, Gosling's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, Gosling is like if Ryan Reynolds was able to do,
and he's very
more than just
talented.
comedy.
Gosling's for sure one of the more charming actors that currently out there.
Man, Ryan Gosling, Remember the Titans, so good.
I love all the music, no matter what movie he comes out in. It just has a picture of him in that movie, and it's like, let's not forget that before he was Ken, he was an absolute liability versus Ed Harris in the national championship game, and it's Ryan Gosling with his huge shoulder pads
such a good meme.
from Remember the Titans, just being like, It's just this dorky picture, and he gets taken out of that game because he keeps getting burned, which is just hysterical.
That's so good.
We have The Adventures of Cliff Booth. So this is the sequel, not really a sequel, but it's the same character continuation from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
which I didn't watch.
It is Brad Pitt's character in that. So Brad Pitt plays a character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood who is a stunt double, Cliff Booth, and I don't think that he's based off of a real person.
No.
But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is I always describe it like this. The first hour and a half are obnoxiously boring, and then like the last 50 minutes are amazing. Like it's basically like the Manson murders, just they accidentally went to the wrong house. So like these hippies that went and killed these actors, they accidentally went into Cliff Booth's house, who lives next door with the guy that he does stunts for, like the super popular actor, which is Leonardo DiCaprio. And this is Cliff and Leonardo in there, and these like hippies break in, and then they just like murder these. It's incredible. Like they're freaking out, and the hippies are freaking out. And anyways. So it's an incredible ending to an otherwise kind of, in my opinion, kind of like a boring and long movie. But Cliff was such a likable character that they made, I guess, a spin-off movie. So it was a very obscure trailer. It was just a super short thing. It wasn't a whole lot going on.
We do have a second on the fact that Gosling was a terrible defensive back.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Absolutely terrible. We have a second
he was an
on
absolute
that.
liability.
he was an absolute liability. But
I can't keep up.
He recognized it and he said, "Put Petey in."
That's fair. He was
said,
a man.
"Yeah, I'm going to give up my chance to play in the championship game because I'd rather have my team win than."
Yes.
Yeah. So despite the fact that he's kind of a terrible football player, he recognized that and let his team win with him on the bench.
Still a little girl. All right. So last trailer we're talking about is an obscure trailer called Toxic. This is a Bollywood movie.
We watched that.
Me and Nathaniel watched the trailer. This trailer is bonkers.
I mean, it was very Bollywood, but what made it really bonkers was there's a lot of religious imagery, and it starts with a guy like banging a girl in the back of a car so it looks like the car rocks and sets off a dynamite plunger.
So this dude attaches this like old school, like you picture like Bugs Bunny, a dynamite plunger, and it's attached to the end of this car, and the line goes up to all of these other thugs that are trying to get in through this gate. And they're like, "Oh, come on!" And they're like, they see him in the car, and then the car starts bouncing because he's banging this girl, and so the plunger's getting closer, and they're all freaking out and trying to shoot the car. And then, I guess right when she exhales dramatically, it goes and blows up. And I'm like,
so stupid.
What am I? Like the wildest trailer. Apparently, it's getting a lot of controversy over there in the Bollywood scene.
That's
for that
so
trailer, but it was big enough to talk about.
A lot of F-bombs dropped in that trailer too.
Yes,
which I don't know if they censored that in
maybe that's why it's so controversial.
It's like saying married in you can say married in a PG movie.
Interesting.
No Marvel movies in the Super Bowl. This is like a big thing in the last like 10 years or
That's
something.
because they're just
Marvel
building up
trailers.
to Doomsday, and if Doomsday doesn't work, then they're probably just going to sell it. Legitimately, if Doomsday doesn't make a profit, they will probably sell Marvel.
Kids Corner, we had a new Mario Galaxy movie trailer in the Super Bowl. There's a new Pixar movie called Hoppers.
Looks terrible.
And then Minions and Monsters.
What happened also looks terrible. What happened to Pixar? Their movies don't look good anymore.
I think Pixar is just, not even that they look good, they're just bad movies.
They are, but if you look at Elio, like the animation is terrible. Like Bean Mouth, and it's like garish colors, but it's all washed out. Pixar movies
I think they're just
look
getting
bad.
rushed. They're rushed.
I think it's part of it. I think a lot of the good animators have left.
That's fair.
I'm actually excited for Mario. I mean, I thought the first Mario movie.
I just didn't watch it.
I thought the first Mario movie was really well done. You know, it's got all the nostalgia for all of us Mario people back in the day that played hours and hours of N64 and this and that. I was happy with the way that the first one came out.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was incredible. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, it was like one of the highest grossing movies ever. Like,
we
need to go and watch it for sure.
Oh, maybe. So my biggest issue is that they didn't get Charles Martinet, who is alive and is the voice of Mario in every video game. Why not just let him do the voice? Why is it Chris Pratt? That baffles me in a way that I can't watch the movie.
They're like, and you know, when you think Italian,
you think Chris
Pratt. What the hell? What? How do we get there?
Or you could get Charles Martinet, who is the honest to God's voice of Mario.
Maybe they finally were like, hey, we got to stop being racist Because literally,
that's definitely not an
everything
issue.
in the world is taboo right now. But you can still walk out into the street and
Japan
go.
doesn't care about that.
You walk out in the street and just go, "Let's go." That's totally fine. That's totally fine. All right, new movies releasing in the past couple weeks. We had Wuthering Heights release this past
Apparently
weekend.
controversial.
Well, yeah. So I guess. So what's the history behind Wuthering Heights? I know that it's based off of a book.
It is a book. Yeah. So it is a book, and there was a movie back in '92, I believe, was the first adaptation of Wuthering Heights.
From what I understand from the controversy.
Go ahead. What do you understand?
I was just going to say, just from the limited, it's just that it's a new modern take, and not everybody likes that.
That was part of it, from my understanding. But also, apparently, they this is where the headcanon morons. So in the book, again, this book is set in England in the 1800s. Oh, one of the characters is described as dark.
Yeah,
just like dark, not like skin wise, just like as a dark man.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I was going straight to the black.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's what again, modern day people read that like, oh, dark means black. Like, no, it didn't. Like, he had a dark countenance.
To be fair, the only reason why I thought that is because of all the crap that's been going on with Hollywood and the idea that everybody needs to.
But no, so it's funny because it's actually the opposite of that. So they cast a white guy. And and a bunch of people got mad. Like, he was described as dark in the book. He's clearly black. Like, he's not black.
Dog, how many like
he might be tanned, he might be like Mediterranean, like Greek, like that kind of dark, but it's as opposed to being like, ginger white.
Okay.
Right? So
not me. I don't know who you're pointing to. I tan wonderfully. Born and raised in Miami. You can call me a ginger all you want.
We got him R2. Where's the we got? You need a we got him R2 button.
Wrong.
Greg is as ginger as the top of his Gatorade bottle.
Another movie coming out, Crime 101. This is with Chris Hemsworth. I actually do think that this is probably worth a watch if you're tuning in and you're like, man, I just want a good movie. It looks fun. It looks like a fun movie. It just looks like it
has Mark
cool,
Ruffalo, so
interesting crime movie. And Chris Hemsworth is a cool dude, and it's got Halle Berry and some other ones. So Ruffalo,
but Mark Ruffalo's last performance made me want to stop watching movies.
Yeah, Mickey 17 was barf. The Goat was the last movie that came out.
I had no interest in that.
The Goat is just an animated movie about a goat that it lives in a animal world where they play basketball. And
don't they call it something different, like Doom Ball or Battle Ball or something like that?
It's basketball.
Death Ball. Yeah, clearly it is.
Call it something else.
So Space Jam.
Basically, except the Monstars are normal.
Oh.
And he's like a dweeb, and that's the abnormal one.
You dweeb.
It's funny, though, because think about it. They're like, the reason you can't play this is because you're literally half the size of other players. And like, yeah, that's the reality in basketball. When's the last time you saw a 5'2" basketball player other than like Nate Robinson, who could jump like 3 times his own height? Like, it's an absolute abnormality to not have the 6 foot.
Yeah, a goat would never make it in death ball.
Yeah,
we all know
that's what
this.
I'm saying. We all know this.
It's those damn horns.
Yeah.
Random facts, random news. Odessa Zion pulls out of her upcoming movie Deep Cuts. This is due to the fact that the character she's playing was supposed to be Mexican, and she's too white.
But is she Mexican?
I don't think so. I don't know. But she looked like. All I know is that she sent out this whole apology. She's like, I didn't read it beforehand, guys.
My agent just said you're gonna make $1 million. Like, hey, how about you just ignore that and do a good job acting? And no one will care.
It was literally the internet choosing what the movie is going to do.
Yeah,
and it's wild.
Very stupid.
That's it for news. Happy birthdays to Marsha Ali. Mahershala Ali.
Whose Blade movie is never going to come out.
To Elizabeth Olsen and to Ice-T, all born on today, February 16th. Also, movie birthdays: Silence of the Lambs, Black Panther, Ghost Rider, Happy Gilmore, and Muppet Treasure Island.
Some of those are not like the others.
Yes, obviously Ghost Rider being the top of that list.
Dude, yeah, it's a clear peak.
Great movie. If you're watching along and you want to comment and join with us, just make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That will give you a chance to join us if you're wondering why you can't.
So Rick and Morty annoys me because I do think it's kind of like, there are a lot of shows where there's some clever writing, but the utter nihilism is just annoying. But there is an episode with iced tea in it, and it turns out he's literally a tea made of ice from this ice planet. It did make me laugh. I did quite enjoy the iced tea side thing where he's a literal tea made of ice from an alien planet. It was very funny.
All right, so around the 4D couches, what have we been watching over the last couple weeks, guys?
Man, do I have a list.
What have you been watching over the last couple weeks?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So yeah, so my list is rather long. But I think what I've been trying to do over the last 2 months of the 2026, one of my New Year's resolutions is just generically watch more movies. Don't care what movies they are, just watch a ton more movies, as many as I can, and that's kind of been my New Year's resolution. And so I have quite a list that I've been going through. I have about I don't know, like 15 or so movies.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to really quickly go through the ones that I've watched, give the absolute one sentence review of it, and then keep moving. The first one is The Rip. And it was terrible. I'm going to be honest. It was everything bad with modern movies in the sense, not so much in the sense of the wokeness, but just it's flashy to a fault. It is. They talk about the plot of the movie way too often. It's literally TikTok in movie format. It's really, really bad. Obviously, the 28 series, the whole series, except for I did not finish 28 years Bone Temple.
28 Bones later.
Yeah,
28 Bones.
So I did not. I didn't end up actually watching that. So of the other ones, it got progressively worse as it went. One of the biggest issues that I had with it was the inability for people to think logically, such as going into a very
all watched
dark.
Those. We can all agree. Yeah, I mean, we can all just kind of give our 2 cents.
It was just bad. Let's just say that.
The first one, they do kind of make decent decisions.
I think the first one was objectively good.
Objectively a very good movie. Granted, it was a bit older, so there's that. But as a horror flick goes, and a little bit of a gore flick, if you will, rather than a horror, because it wasn't really scary. It was just gory. It was good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, objectively, it was a good story behind it. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
And then 28 Weeks is like everyone makes the dumbest possible decision. Yeah.
Oh, it's
that one is like criminal.
Yes.
How stupid everyone is.
Yeah. My next that I actually watched on a plane was Oblivion. I've seen the movie before. I'm very upset that I did watch it on a plane because that is one of the best scores that in a movie that I can remember. And I unfortunately was unable to hear a lot of it due to the fact that I was on a plane.
M83, man.
M83, phenomenal score, well done. Another movie I watched that came out late 2025, and I actually recommended this to Greg, was Train Dreams. It's a Netflix movie. It's a Netflix original, and it is really, 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 really good. Very sad. So, like, just forewarning. Very well done. The cinematography is really, really well done. The next thing on my list is The Patriot. Literally one of my favorite movies of all time.
Good movie.
Phenomenal movie.
It's just, there's nothing more to it. We went and watched Lord of the Rings, the extended edition.
Yes.
Phenomenal movie. The score is perfect. The next one on my list is The Dark Knight. It is not my style of movie. However, for what it is, phenomenal movie. Heath Ledger does an incredible job. The other two, 28 years. The Northman.
He didn't like that.
I hated it. Couldn't even finish it.
I didn't watch it, so.
Could not even finish.
Liam, was it John Boney that watched it?
Yeah, I didn't watch it with you guys.
Oh, wow.
It was atrocious to watch. I could not. I literally had to shut it off. Right? It's violent. It's
extremely violent.
It's incredibly violent. But there's just so many things that are just so cringy about it too that I couldn't. Anyways, I just recently watched, like 2 nights ago, I rewatched Independence Day with Will Smith. Great movie. Don't really like Will Smith as a person, but great actor.
He's a phenomenal
Buddy is a great actor. I mean, he is up there with one of the best.
Yeah, he's really good.
Another one I watched, and because the reason why I watched it is because my wife had not seen it, is Braveheart. Incredible movie. Incredible movie.
I watched Braveheart for the first time on a little CRT TV.
That's
in my dorm room my freshman year.
Out.
Nice.
On VHS.
Ooh, nice. And then my last movie, and then I'll let you guys take over, is Fahrenheit 451, which is essentially a complete, utter knockoff of the book 1984, but worse. There you go.
Do you know Fahrenheit 451 was also a book?
Yeah, I was going to say it's Fahrenheit 451.
No, I understand that.
Based off the book.
No, I completely understand that. But also, it is a complete and utter knockoff
idea
of 1984.
There were a lot of books based on the whole Big Brother idea of just being
and
watched.
Brave New World came out around the same time as well.
Well, Nathaniel looks that up. I'll talk about the movies I've seen. I don't need to do all of the movies that I've watched, just because it's been about like a month, I feel like, till our last one.
Excuse me.
But I also
1984 did come out a couple years before Fahrenheit 451.
I also obviously watched the 28 movies. First one phenomenal. Next one's pretty bad. Years was aesthetically very pleasing, but the characters are also still dumb, and the story doesn't really go anywhere. I've been watching the Harry Potters with Nathaniel. We're through 1 through 3 over the last couple weeks. Nathaniel will have more to dig into in these movies. But they're very fun movies, man. Like I'm really enjoying going back. I find them all very charming still.
Yeah, we watch these pretty much every year.
Yeah. I love the way that the movies progress in maturity throughout the movies, with it being like the most childish is the first one and the most serious being the second part of the 8th one. And so I've been enjoying those a lot. I watched Forrest Gump for the first time in a long time. Man, phenomenal movie.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm actually doing a character corner on Forrest Gump a little later in the show, so excited for that. Other than that, TV shows, I've been watching New Girl, One Punch Man, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Really good. Man, as somebody that did not really love the Game of Thrones shows, I really like this. Also been watching this show called Primal, which is the Samurai Jack animators, who have animated a new series about a caveman who befriends a dinosaur. And it's very serious as far as like, there's just serious things that happen. Like his family gets eaten and the dinosaur's family gets eaten. And so that's how they become friends. So like, and it's very violent, but there's no dialogue. And so you're just enjoying really good animation as this odd couple goes around like just pretty much fighting people constantly, just like constantly battling.
That's interesting too, because Samurai Jack had very little dialogue.
Yeah, it really is about this kind of strange animation that doesn't come across instantly as like great. It kind of just looks a little like,
it's a little janky.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
Cartoon Network style.
Yeah, but it, I don't know, it works really well, and it's been my fall asleep show, so I watch it when I lay in bed.
He also did. He also did a Clone Wars thing.
Yes, the first season of Clone Wars was animated by the Samurai Jack guy.
It's technically like a different show.
Yeah, but it was only one season, and then they scrapped it and they went with the.
Which, goodness gracious, I enjoyed Clone Wars, but the animation is ugly as sin, and it never gets less ugly. It's so bad.
The animation is
hideous.
Like they look like cockroaches, all of them. Just like it's fat.
It's truly astounding how they managed to make it so.
People.
When Star Wars is a very aesthetically pleasing series, and they're like, let's just make everything but ugly. Why would you do that?
All right, Nathaniel, what you been watching?
So really, I've just been watching a lot of Who's Line. I found a Google Drive repository where it has every episode. I'm up to season 5, and it's just funny, man.
It's so good.
And there's definitely stuff that you're like, well, they would get so canceled for saying that.
God, yeah.
But I watched Obliterated with Giant Dong.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny because I watched the first episode and I was like, this is so trashy. I want to watch the next episode. I can't explain to you why I was enjoying it. It's just trashy. It's raunchy, but it's like totally unapologetic, and all the characters are complete doofuses.
That's awesome.
The bad guy is a complete doof. Like everyone's just a dumbass, and it was kind of like 21 Jump Street. It was just fun to watch.
Okay.
You know, absurdly giant dongs notwithstanding.
What a weird.
It was just very funny. Like so the one guy, this giant black dude, right? And he's like super hungry, and so he keeps trying to get food. And then every time, and this is the guy who has the foot long dong. You get to see for 1,000
he's
years.
Incredibly hungry and hung.
But it's so funny because things just keep happening so that he doesn't get the food. And it was really funny. He would be so close to getting the food, and then he just didn't get it. And he's just dying. He's like, I need food so badly. I can't recommend it, but I did enjoy watching it from beginning to end. It was stupid. It was incredibly raunchy. It was pretty funny.
That's so funny.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah. That's not the only thing I'm watching.
Okay.
Wow, he just cut me off.
If you actually said I've just been watching.
Yeah, you literally.
I said
that's
mostly.
what you said.
I said I've just mostly been watching.
Forgive me. Go ahead, bud.
So I watched. No, I've forgotten.
Oh,
Oh my! You're gonna give me that thing.
I watched Rabbit Hole, which was it only ran for a season in 23. It had Kiefer Sutherland was the lead on it.
Okay,
so that's why I watched it. And it's basically like he's this guy who does like corporate espionage, but then you find out he's actually working with his dad, who worked for the CIA. Who faked his own death, and they're trying to take down this guy named Crowley who worked with his dad, and Crowley's trying to basically like take over the U.S. through what they call the algorithms of control, and it was pretty good. And there's some interesting reveals where he can't like tell he starts being unable to tell what's real and what's not, and he'll like go through scenarios, he'll play out scenarios in his head. And but he can't tell which ones actually what's actually going on. So for the most part, it was pretty decent. Of course, at the end, they're like Crowley wants to recreate the world with women in the home and homosexuals in the closet. I'm like, that literally never came up ever. What are you talking about? So it was like it wasn't really. It was funny because it wasn't performative wokeness. Until like the very end, where he's like, and his secret plan is to put women back in the home. Like, what are you talking about? Where did that even? It literally comes out of nowhere. It's not talked about then. And then of course they set up for a second season because they like find Crowley and they end up killing him. And then they find that there's a earpiece in his ear, and so the dad like puts it in his ear, says, "Who is this?" And that's the end of the season. Did not get renewed for a second season, but it was fine. It was enjoyable. I watched it. I think the intrigue could have been handled a little bit better, and it had a couple of issues, which I'm actually going to talk about in one of my segments.
Would you say you went down a rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Oh,
rabbit/hole. But yeah, come on. It was like it was good. It was fun.
Okay.
But I don't think I would have watched more than one season. And then I just started rewatching Ugly Americans, which I'm not huge on adult cartoons, and this one is like it's deliberately like it's pretty ugly.
Ugly Americans.
Ugly Americans. So it's basically like New York City, but New York City has a bunch of like demons and supernatural monsters in it. And so this guy Mark, he's part of his job is to help integrate. You might call it an immigration allegory, but his job is to help integrate these different species into New York City.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's just funny. It's pretty low key. And I think it's fairly well written, so I've enjoyed it. I'm not I don't really go for adult cartoons, but I did enjoy Ugly Americans. Only 2 seasons, and then so I've got like I went through I basically went through all of Paramount Plus's TV catalog and like put aside the ones I want to watch. So I've been watching Tracker, which has actually been pretty good. It has the same problem that Evil had, where every single villain is a white man.
That checks out.
This one might be forgivable because he's usually in the boonies in like Montana or in like
there's not many black people in Montana,
in like Oklahoma, and so I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's not in a major city. He's not in the South. He's like in the boonies, in the mountains. It's probably just gonna be like Appalachian trash. That's fair enough. But it's pretty good in that the police officers, like he works with the police, and the police are actually not scum. So it's nice to find a show where law enforcement officers are actually like real people and are actually helpful people. There is some sort of bigger conspiracy. It's in the 3rd season, and they took a break till March, so I had to take a break from it. But basically, it's like a bottle episode, or not a bottle episode. It's episodic. So each week he's going like chasing a different bounty, but there is an overarching plot. Like his dad was involved in something weird, and his neighbor helped kill his dad because of something because of his mom. I don't know. There's some big overarching conspiracy that's unexplained that you get like bits and pieces as you go along. So that one's been good. But yeah, I think that's most of what I've been watching. Again, a lot of Who's Line because it's so good.
That's the important stuff.
It is good.